Welcome back, all my beautiful Irish patriots and nationalists alike. We have another propaganda video coming out of course, what else? RTE. We have Upfront with Katie Hannon, another paid and bought for a shill. This one is called, Should We Be Eating Less Red Meat? My quick answer, guys, is absolutely no. Go check out my YouTube channel, my Instagram, okay, I'm a personal trainer. Red meat gets you jacked. It is the best thing in the world for muscle growth, for health, more specifically. Carnivore diets are amazing. Let me tell you something. If you want to be jacked, to all my little, kids and teenagers and college kids out there, if you want to be jacked, eat loads of red meat. You will get absolutely jacked, guys. It's the number one thing that helps recovery. Okay, let's hear what this bought and paid for shield audience has to say about it.
The Environment Protection Agency took down a tweet it had posted encouraging people to eat less red meat. It said, ready to be healthier, wealthier and more fabulous? Cut down on your red meat intake. And it also suggested people should try veggie lunches and meat.
Vegetables? That's what my food eats, okay? My cows eat vegetables. They eat grass and, carrots and the odd seeds and stuff like that. Do not eat less red meat.
Free Mondays. Brian,
no.
You just had a good run there, but you were particularly upset by this. And you got them to take it down.
I think farmers are upset. I think rightly so, I suppose.
Irish farmers should be upset. We have the best red meat in the world. I went to England, Italy. They all sold Irish meat, Irish imported meat. We have the best red meat in the world. Pause.
What was wrong with it, though? I mean...
Well, I'm going to quote Laura Burke on this because I think she put it better than really anyone. She says, it's a complex and nuanced topic. And that tweet was neither complex and nuanced. EPA, and she decided to take it down. And I think that's fair enough. I think...
Who's this legend?
The EPA are not in the business of giving dietary advice. Neither am I, by the way. I think...
This guy looks pretty healthy. I mean, he looks pretty, muscular. A lot of these people that want you to eat loads of vegetables are skinny dweebs, guys. They're nerds. They're Poindexters. You know what I mean? Whatever happened to calling people nerds now? We can't insult anybody anymore. Pencil necks. I like to call people pencil necks. Work out your neck, guys. Don't be running around with a pencil neck out here.
Listen, it's important that everyone eats a balanced diet, but I can't put it any better than Laura Burke herself.
Can I put this out to the... Yes. Yourself.
I'm another Laura, but I'm an environmental scientist.
Here we go. The propaganda begins.
And the livestock industry, it's the #1 cause of water pollution.
Let the brainwashing commence. Let the brainwashing commence.
It's the #1 cause of biodiversity loss.
No, it's not. Bullshit. Bullshit.
It's the leading driver of greenhouse gas emissions in this country.
Boo.
And eating red meat to the...
China pumps out more greenhouse emissions and greenhouse gases and carbon footprint than anywhere else in the entire world combined. China's horrendous, but the Marxist lefties don't want to talk about China, do they? They love China.
Extent to which we eat it will cross climate tipping points. The food system alone, with the meat industry as it currently is globally, we will cross the 1.5 degree tipping point. Just because of meat consumption and a little bit of rice on the side. So if we reduce our meat consumption...
The best meal ever is olive oil, rice, red meat with some tomato sauce, with a little bit of pepper, a little bit of seasoning, herbs and spices. Oh, the best meal in the entire world.
Consumption down. We are doing one of the best things we can possibly do to address the linked crises of biodiversity and climate.
Okay, yeah, yourself very quickly and then...
BS. I wouldn't listen to any of that.
I'm a carnivore. I eat nothing but meat.
Oh, right.
Basically,
this guy's a legend. Carnivore diet. I love it.
Because I've done my own research into it. And meat is the only proper food for human beings.
100%.
It provides all the nutrients, all the fats that's needed. No one actually needs to eat an ounce of carbohydrate.
True.
It's actually not a necessary thing.
True.
So meat will save the earth rather than the other way around.
Can I put to you, Minister?
They're going to start saying now eating meat is a right-wing thing. I'm surprised they haven't said it now on this RT that eating meat is right-wing. Because they said, working out, guys, hold up. Let me show you my muscles, guys. Because, you guys all love seeing the muscles. But they said shit like working out, guys, is right-wing. What? Dude, I must be flipping. I must be goddamn. I don't even know what I must be, guys. I must be damn some really lunatic, man. All I eat is red meat and rice and olive oil, guys. Look at this. You think I'm not healthy? Shit, bro. You guys are wimps. These people, this woman that was talking is a woman nerd. Okay, she's a wimp, guys. All right. If you guys want to get jacked muscles like me, man, eat loads of red meat. Trust me on that one.
To that tweet and the fact that the IFA managed to get it reduced, would you advise people to eat less meat?
I think there's a need for balance in any debate, and in terms of the
Have you cut down the amount of meat you've been eating?
No, I think I eat a healthy, balanced diet. So to say cut down would suggest that I ate too much meat to start with. I think I eat a healthy amount.
Yeah.
I would.
Who the hell eats too much red meat? You can't eat too much red meat. It's ridiculous. This is stupid.
Agree that red meat is an important source of protein.
100%.
To Laura's point there.
What is enough? What's bad? Would you do a meat-free Monday?
I tend to have fish on a Friday. It's more of a traditional thing. I'm not sure, but
my man's healthy. He even gets the omega-3s with fish. Now, obviously, you know, there's omega-3s in red meat as well. A lot of people don't know that. You know, if you guys wanted to get like way more, just have some salmon. You know, salmon is my favorite. I could eat salmon, you know, for the rest of my life apart from red meat, but it's very expensive. Okay, red meat is very cheap. That's why it just tastes better than salmon, doesn't it? Like, so salmon and red meat, guys, those two things will keep you alive forever.
Just on Laura's point though, in terms of the...
Would you be very nervous to tell an audience of farmers that you were cutting down on meat?
No, because
obviously you produce meat yourself.
I'd be very slow to tell anybody what to eat. I think people are intelligent enough to do their own research and make up their own mind about things. And different people will have different views. But just in terms of a blanket, I'm very cautious of any statement here that is just like a simple, that's really bad, or this is black and that's white, and it's all binary. The fact of the matter is, our pasture-based system here in Ireland means that our livestock take an inedible protein for humans that is grass.
Yeah.
And by eating it, converting it into energy and meat, turn that into an edible protein. That is a very important part of people's diets. We need protein, whether it's meat or it's another way that you get that. So that's what sets us apart. That is a unique selling point for us. I have two key roles of responsibilities in the Department of Agriculture. One is in the area of trade, and you know, we are very much, we export 90% of the food and drink that we produce.
Oh wow, Jesus. I didn't know that about Ireland. I bet most people watching this didn't know that about Ireland. We export 90% of stuff that we produce. That's crazy. Potatoes, what would be the biggest ones, lads? Potatoes, red meat, obviously. The red meat is the best red meat in the world. I've been all around the world. Canada, America, the red meat there is nowhere near. The Irish meat is ridiculous. I would say we export, like, Lucasade. I can't remember. Maybe tea we export. What other do we export here? Like, cows, I suppose. You know, all the farm animals we maybe export as well.
And in terms of the point that was made around sustainability and the economic and making a profit, we have a very clear approach here. Sustainability is a three-legged stool. You can't have environmental sustainability if the farmer doesn't have economic sustainability, and the social sustainability of our rural communities that depend on that agricultural activity.
Can you have environmental sustainability if you're driving output to the degree?
You absolutely can, and that comes to the second part of my roles and responsibility in the Department of...
She is obviously biased, okay? She obviously has the agenda handed down to her from RT, from the hires up. Hey, please talk about this issue. Please, Katie Hannon, talk about this issue to the people. Try and convince her that red meat is bad, but red meat is amazing. Let me show you my muscles again. All right, wait till the end. I'll show you guys my muscles again.
Agriculture, where I have responsibility for research, and we spend over €20 million a year in the Department of Agriculture alone on researching the solutions to the challenges we face in agriculture to reduce the emissions from our food production system. Because we need
bullshit. There is no emissions from from any red meat. That is nonsense. That is a weirdo Marxist left-wing talking point. There is no emissions from red meat. Zero. You can't even measure them. Elon Musk said it. Elon Musk is the smartest man in the world. It's nonsense, guys. Keep eating your red meat, okay? When I was, quote-unquote, eating more plant-based, I was a skinny little bitch, okay? I was a little pussy boy as well, guys. So my mental health was, well, I never had bad mental health, okay? I'm tough as fucking nails, but you guys know that, you know, your confidence wanes down a little bit. Now my confidence is at 10.
But we're not anywhere near.
But we're
not anywhere near meeting the targets.
We are making huge progress. We are reducing the emission profile of our food production system, and farmers are taking great efforts in terms of making progress on the areas like water pollinators.
We should have no targets. Why do we have all these targets? You know, what kind of nonsense is that? Who gives a shit? No targets. I get rid of all these targets to meet.
Jennifer Whitmore, we're making huge progress, the Minister says.
I think the Minister is just ignoring the reality of the facts and the data that we see that the EPA produce, that, you know, all the organisations are pointing and showing us that actually our agriculture system is not sustainable. It is not working and operating within the environmental boundaries that it needs to operate within. Now, look, I think we're really at a crossroads when it comes to agriculture in this country, and I think there's a real opportunity actually for there to be a really involved discussion with the farming community, and to determine what kind of agriculture system do we want going into future, what is going to actually be resilient, because we've heard from Jerry, and the farmers have experienced, as you said, an awful year from a weather perspective. That is not going to change, that's just going to get worse. So what we need is actually to look at the land we have, to see exactly what we can sustainably produce on it, and for it to be profitable as well, because it needs to be profitable for the farmers. But this needs to happen, and there needs to be a pathway set out for the farmers to help them get there, because farmers know that there's changes coming down the road. They know they're going to have to make changes.
No, they don't know that. If I was in government, I wouldn't make any changes to farmers. I'd be selling actually the meat to America. I know we sell. I would make I would make this country so rich. Like, instead of selling just the butter to the US, I would sell them the beef. Oh, could you imagine? I'd sell them like traditional grass-fed Irish beef. They would love that. You'd have a market of 50 million Irish Americans that would love to taste that. You know, this is the thing. Like, don't just sell the butter. I think we should sell the beef to even like countries that are big on beef. Australia would love to see it. You know, Argentina would love to see some beef, Irish beef. All right, that would be amazing.
What they need is, well, they need direction as to what you want, what the government wants from them, and how the...
I don't give a shit what the government want. The government should be listening to the farmers. How about that? Because the farmers make the food. So, hey, government, if you don't care about what we want to do, then guess what? No more burgers and steaks for you guys.
Government is going to support them getting there, and that support and that transparency and that pathway is not being made available for them. And what we're hearing is promises, a lack of recognition of the challenges that are being faced, and also direction as to how this can be achieved.
We said, and the lack of this point in terms of to look at the land we have, right? I think again, as a farmer, and a farmer that was a beef and tillage farmer that left that sector because it was economically vulnerable. Bottom line, I got into dairying because it offered me and my family a secure economic future, which it still does despite the challenges. It still does despite the challenges. But these are the facts, right? 50%, only less than 50% of Ireland is suitable, agricultural land is suitable for arable production.
Wow.
It is a tough business. You need large scale. It is a very tough business. But if we look at dairying, the point being, you can make a good income off a relatively small block of land. Where we have extensive livestock productions and we move further west into marginal parts of the country, there is no real other option for those farmers. And okay, we can talk about forestry.
Dairy is amazing as well. I implore, if you guys are skinny, you know what I mean, to start eating more. Look at this, guys, whey protein. This is all dairy that actually comes, and more specifically, this sort of whey protein, this Optimum Nutrition whey protein. This whey protein is actually produced in Ireland. A lot of people don't know that, and it's actually shipped to the US. So any tub of whey protein that you get is made in Ireland. You know, a lot of people don't know that. So amazing sources of protein. Whey protein and red meat get you jacked.
But listen, the forestry programme is a fiasco. Bottom line, there's no farmer that could honestly put their hand up with confidence and say, I want to get into forestry for the long term. So I'm not saying that I don't believe in providing farmers with options, but let's provide them with an option that gives them an income, not weakens their income.
Okay. Can I
that's what we're talking about, the weakening farm income.
Brian, it also has to be within the environmental
I understand, but there's no point in doing that and having people worse off.
Okay, I want to bring John Gibbons, because John, you've been criticised for this.
Don't listen to that obese lady. She knows nothing. She is part of the system, and she wants to get rid of your steaks.
In the past, because I know you've clashed with farmers on this, and they will say that you don't understand farming to the degree that they do, that you're suggesting solutions that have no viable run out for farmers.
Well, first of all, the Minister said that we
Oh, I knew it, man. He has a really posh accent. And as soon as I heard the posh accent, I was like, this lad's not a farmer. This lad has never grown up around farms, okay?
Import 90% of our produce, which is true. On the other side of the equation, we import about 85% of all the fruit and vegetables.
I'm a West Brit, and I go along with the agenda that they say in D4 in Dublin. So get rid of your steaks, and please eat the crickets, eat the insects, please.
Produced in Ireland. This is a disaster from a food security point of view. No. We have put the cart before the horse here. We've developed a system that has been built around the demands of basically agri-PLCs. They drive this system, right? They're pushing it, and the politicians are following behind, and the farmers are trailing behind them again. That's the system. What we need to do, I would respectfully suggest, is I think we need to scrap the Department of Agriculture and Teagasc and replace them with the Department of National Food Security. The thing that challenged...
He wants to nationalise everything because obviously, he wants Big Daddy EU to take over. No, we will not be nationalising red meat.
Facing Ireland and every country around the world in the years and decades ahead is food threats arising from the climate emergency.
Oh my God. This guy is a bought paid for shill. This is outrageous.
Ireland are deeply food insecure. We need to stop basically...
No, we're not. Ireland is the second most secure food source country in the entire world. The US is number 1 and Ireland is number 2. We're the best food supply country in the world.
Using our Department of Agriculture to drive industrial policy that benefits a certain number of PLCs and a certain small number of industrial players. We need to do that. We need radical thinking, Martin. We're in a crisis. We need radical thinking.
John, we are not in a crisis, guys. Do not listen to this fool.
There's nothing radical about sending Ireland back to farming systems in the 1950s.
Yeah.
Which you are proposing subsistence farming.
Okay.
We are
Martin,
the second most food secure nation in the world.
Oh, I told you, we're the second most food secure nation in the world, apart from the US. Basically, no country beats the US basically on anything. But in terms of the food, listen, he just said it right there. I beat him to it. Like I've never watched this before. I just know that from years ago. We're the second most food supply secure country in the world because of the famine and those historical things. Like we said, we're never going to have that again. These guys are just on the right-hand side here. They're just lying.
Proposing subsistence farming.
Okay.
We are
Martin,
the second most food secure nation in the world.
Do you think
not
the Dutch
because we
agricultural system, Martin,
not because we produce all of the food that we consume here ourselves.
Martin,
food systems are hugely integrated
Martin, do you
now
think
all around the world.
The Dutch horticultural system, with a country the size of Holland that produces 100 billion euros in food, mostly food for human consumption, do you think they're a 1950s system? They use hydroponics,
I don't believe we should revert back to just produce enough food.
So you're saying it's not a 1950s system. We just don't want to change.
And let that be displaced by somewhere that doesn't produce that food as sustainably
so
as
the
we
1950s
do. I want to give specifics
Let's go.
I'm
going to show you guys my muscles again. Come on. Bro, if you guys want to be jacked, if you guys want to be flipping in shape, eat red meat, eat loads of whey protein. Don't listen to these pencil neck people. They just want you to be skinny and lame. I love you all. Drop a comment down below. If you guys want to help support the channel and support my future on YouTube, hit that Patreon link in the description down below. For just the price of a coffee for €5 a month, you guys can help support me. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next one, guys. Peace.